Welcome back.
Hello,
Hey,
hello. How is everybody today? It's May 30th. This is episode 40. Can you believe it's 40 episodes and the end
I
of
can't
May
believe it's
already?
May already. It's ending of May already.
Where did the month go? Well, May is Mental Health Month, and so Russ and I we've been taking a mental health break. Russ was out on the road traveling, seeing some family. We were doing some professional work too at the library conference, some other things. I'm sure y'all saw those kinds of things. But we want to encourage you if you haven't taken a mental health day or a mental health week or weekend, work that into your calendar, work that into your schedule because, there's just nothing like getting away from everything. If you can go away, go away. If you can't go away, just put all the stuff down and just take some time for yourself to think about, what you want to do next. What do you want to do the next 6 months, the rest of the year? Do you have any big goals? Do you have anything that, you want to put on your bucket list? Because we need to enjoy life too. A lot of times, most of us, especially authors, entrepreneurs, we get so caught up in just doing the work that we don't take any time off. And so we want to encourage you to do that. We encourage writers to do that. When you're writing something, we encourage you to set that writing down and go away for a few days and come back to it because you'll look at it with fresh eyes and you'll find something new and you'll see the mistakes that you won't see when you're reading it day to day. So we want to encourage that everybody to do that. Russ, you got any other thoughts about Mental Health Month and some
Well,
of our great shows?
my best advice is find joy in the day. Everything that we're doing, we're obviously not going to love everything that we're doing all day long every day. I am very fortunate in the fact that I enjoy what I do, and I sometimes get lost in that activity. And so get up, walk around, breathe some air,
Right.
see some sunshine, take a break,
Right.
and
Yep.
walk away from your desk. Even if you love what you're doing, you may be outside, you may be gardening. I don't know what activity you
Yeah.
love and enjoy, but find some joy in every day, and also just lean into the fact that the challenges that we all run into. In fact, I just posted this on my newsletter yesterday, is about resiliency,
Right.
being resilient with the activities that challenge us, build those muscles, and help us become better at solving problems, at becoming more resilient. Yes.
Muscles, build muscles.
Yeah.
I
So
love
that's
it.
that's my advice for mental health is find the joy in a little bit of everything every day, and
Yeah.
also realize that those challenges are here to help us, not to hinder us.
Right, right.
Even if
That's
that's
right. Yeah, and our affliction can be, our affirmation, that we're doing the right thing or we're moving in the right direction.
yeah,
And so, we kind of have a tendency to think that anything that negative that happens, is happening against us. And what we really need to do is think about how it's happening for us, how life is for us, the universe is for us. And, I love it. I heard it first, Steve Harvey, and I've heard different versions of it. But, when we get up in the morning, we need to say, I get to get up this morning. I get to go to this job. I get to communicate with people. I get to serve people, not I have to, because
yeah,
that changes your whole conversation. If you, I have to, I have to, I have to, I have to, well, before you even get out of the house or get out of bed or get, from one room to the next, you're already depressed. So, we need to look at our blessings first. The minute we get up in the morning, we can breathe, we can get up, we woke up for another day. So we need to change our attitude about that for sure. So, Russ, today we're at our 40th episode. And since, like you say, we had taken a couple of weeks off, we played some we revisited some great interviews. We had a great interview with Sarah Sewell, especially for Mental Health Month, about how do you overcome abuse? How do you deal with abuse? How do you deal with those bad memories and those memories when they do resurface? Because, you never get over things completely, but you can learn to live with them. You can learn to let them go. You can learn to forgive and to move on and to have a joyful life and experience. And So we hope you'll go back and listen to these previous interviews with authors. Last week, I think we revisited Mike Ferris, who was our legal thriller author friend. And so, he's been in the business 30 years. So he had some really good tips about writing and how to write and what to write and editing and things like that. So be sure you go and, subscribe to our YouTube channel. All those interviews, there's 39 other interviews there. And so anything you want to know about authors and writing, you're probably going to find at our Author Adventure YouTube channel. So check that out. And today, Russ, so because we've got the last month here in May, and we wanted to do some shameless self-promotion, because that's the other thing that's hard for authors to do. Most authors are kind of shy, they're kind of quiet. They want to just write their books and go on down the road, but you have to promote your stuff. You can't, people are not going to know you have books unless you tell them you have books. So today I want to talk about our preschool coloring books. These are our color matching coloring books. This is farm animals. And as you can see, it's Animal Preschool Coloring Book Series. So we have 3 of these books. We have farm animals, we have desert, savanna, and jungle animals, and we have Arctic and under the sea animals. So basically, these are just simple little coloring books. They're color matching coloring books. So we have a wonderful artist and illustrator named Hatice Bayramoglu. You can follow her at the Art of HB on Facebook and LinkedIn. But she did these wonderful animals. We drew these wonderful animal pictures. Here, as you can see, this is a rooster, and then there's a coloring page, so kids can basically learn the names of all the different farm animals. So we've got roosters, we've got horses, we've got the farm dog, we've got the barn cat, we've got ducks, we got squirrels, we got calves. I mean, all the animals that are on a farm are in this book here. And so kids can either color the picture just like Hatice colored it, so they can have a matching coloring page, or they can color that calf any color they want. They might want that calf to be black. They might want that calf to be purple. We don't care what color that your kids want to color things. We want to just encourage them to learn, to be creative. And so this is our farm animals. It's the first book in the series. The second book is about deserts, savannas, and jungles. And so we wanted kids to be able to look up giraffes, there's lions, there's tigers, there's camels, because camels live out there in the desert. And that's why it's called desert savanna. I mean, there's horses, there's kangaroos, there's cranes, there's lizards, there's flamingos. I mean, all these kinds of animals that live out, lions. So we have these wonderful pictures that kids can see and know and identify. So this is for young kids, especially, obviously. And so we've got desert and jungles, and then we've got Arctic, so under the sea. So kids can learn about, like say, sharks. Oh my gosh, sharks. So you want to be careful. People are coming into summer. We're coming into summer. You want to be careful when you go to the beach. There are still, if you go out to the beaches, you got to be careful because there are things in the water. There are sharks. There are octopus. There are stingrays. There are bluefish. There's our bluefish. There are dolphins, which we love dolphins. So some of the animals that are in the sea and little seals, some of the animals are great and wonderful, but then there are whales, and sometimes they get a little testy. I'd read something just this week about orca whales that are they're busting up against boats. They're actually ramming boats, and they're getting 2 or 3 of them together. So these animals are really smart. And the boats that are coming into their areas, they're probably their areas where they're having young or where they're birthing areas and things like that. polar bears. See, we have polar bears. So that's why it's called Arctic and Under the Sea. There's walruses, there's seals, all of those kinds of things live out here. So this is a great thing. We're coming into the summer. If you have your summer reading list, we're going to be posting some of our summer reading list. You can see we got lots of books behind us. There's our cowboy books that we've talked about on our Western Legend, our Wild West Diversity show. We're donating a bunch of those books. We've gotten sponsors who want to donate these cowboy books, and we want to give a big shout out to the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo. They sponsored 65, 70 of these books. Our children's book on Cleo Hearn, Mr. Black Rodeo, and Hatice Bayramoglu, our illustrator. She did these wonderful pictures as well for our cowboy books. And so we're going to be donating those books to schools and to children that are experiencing homelessness or to the working poor, because they don't get new books. They maybe get hand-me-downs, or they get books that somebody maybe were somebody else's books and they're kind of worn down and stuff. But we want to give new books to children in disadvantaged areas. So if you want to donate, if you want to support that program, you can do that on our Facebook page. You can go to our Wild West Diversity or our Author Adventure Facebook page, and you can send us a note there or post there that you would like to help support our donation, our book donation for this summer. Get your reading list together. These children's books we're talking about are great reads for kids this summer. Your kids are going to be out, your grandkids maybe are going to be coming over, and so it really helps if you support local authors. We have a bunch of authors that we've interviewed here on the Author Adventure. Bobo Nietzsche, he's got books about the moon and about clouds, and we've got other authors. Alicia Adamson, will be having her on shortly, and they're the Adamson crew, and they have books about, becoming a big sister, about their twins and going to the doctor, moving. They've recently moved, and so they just wrote a story about their moving experience. So this is an African-American family over in Atlanta. And so check all these stories out. Check out these books. Check out these great authors. If you're an adult author or you read adult books, we certainly have plenty of adult books for you as well. We've got graphic novels, we've got cookbooks, we've got business books, we've got sports books. So you're going to be able to find those and see those on our authoradventure.com website, theauthoradventure.com. So go there and check us out as well. Visit our website, and you can put your name in and sign up for our newsletter there. You can sign up and get a free download of 7 ways to organize your writing project. So if you put your name and email in, you will automatically get that as a PDF download. And then we're going to be also launching in June our 5-day writing challenge. So this is basically 5 days, 15 minutes for $15. And you basically $3 a day. That's less than a cup of coffee. You probably pay more than that at Starbucks. But basically what you'll be able to do is write 5 of your pieces that you're going to use over and over and over again during your author adventure, during your book writing journey. We're going to have you write some titles. We're going to have you brainstorm titles. We're going to have you brainstorm your table of contents if you're writing nonfiction. We'll have you brainstorm descriptions or other things if you're writing for children or if you're writing for fiction. Maybe saying characters, and there's some different stuff that's involved in if you're writing fiction and children's books versus nonfiction. We're going to have you write your bios. We're going to have you create some resources or a list of resources and people that maybe can support you on your author journey in the future. So we hope you'll go to the website and check that out. We'll be talking more about that on our social media, on our Facebook, our LinkedIn, and our Twitter pages, or at least I will. Russ may not be talking about it on LinkedIn because I think they banned him. this week. We don't know what he did wrong, but anyway, Russ, come on and tell us a little bit about where else they can find you, and tell them a little bit about your newsletter. Well, you've got a new newsletter as well for our Pirate Syndicate, for the Pirate Crew, and go live. You're muted. We can't hear you. So
Life story of my
okay.
life. Yeah. No, I was enjoying the
Instead of
display.
banned books, we need to take your picture and put it on the cover of a book and say Russ has been banned. Banned
Yeah,
book by Russ
banned book.
Johns.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. It's interesting too because I've been on LinkedIn since 2005, and this is one of the reasons why I recommend starting your newsletter. And I just refresh. I've seen so many people launch their newsletter on LinkedIn.
Uh-huh.
And can you imagine if I had launched a daily newsletter on LinkedIn and then
Right.
I got banned? It's like you don't have contact with the actual email, the people that follow you. You don't have access to the platform. You don't have any access to the individuals that you work so hard to collect and add to the list. And so I recommend you go on out there and do that. And that's what I'm doing with the Pirate Syndicate, piratesyndicate.com. I can actually create a post here, but it's
you really need your website. We
really
recommend that any author, any business, any creative person, any content creator, you've got to have your own website because these very things happen to you. And it's not just LinkedIn. You can be banned from Facebook. You can be put in Facebook jail, as we call it. You can be banned from Twitter. And, no telling if that platform's even going to survive all of the Elon Musk stuff. It probably will, but it's maybe going to be a different version.
Twitter's actually thriving right now. So
yeah. So, you never know.
I got thousands of followers on Twitter as well. So I'm just going to hang out on Twitter until I get my LinkedIn account back.
Right. And then direct them all to the Pirate Crew for sure. So give us that information. So.
And the reality is what I'm doing is much what we're doing here at the Author Adventure is I am creating a community of like-minded individuals, and I'm writing to creatives. Liz and I are both creators. We both love the creative process. That's why we do what we do, and we enjoy it. We actually met in another networking connection with Chris Luck, who is another creator. And
probably the father of newsletters. He was probably the king of newsletters. I think he had about 20 at one time, and he sold 3 or 4 of them for like $2 million or something. I mean, he made a lot of money in the early days of newsletters before it got so prevalent.
Yeah. Well, and they're coming back too. I think, I think, everything, like everything else, Liz, it goes in cycles. So if you go to thepiratesyndicate.com and just on the homepage and sign up for the newsletter, it's a daily newsletter. And the beauty of it is I'm actually recruiting other creators to contribute to that newsletter. And then I also have multiple shows just like this that I'll be interviewing individuals that are contributors. And then we'll be sharing their information just like we share the Author Adventure. So this is kind of a format of the opportunity that you can have. You could be on the newsletter, you could be on the show, you could be, part of the affiliate programs, and you can actually get a lot of assistance and support from the community.
Right, engage in the community with other people. Yeah,
because it's kind of lonely when you're a solopreneur or you're a freelancer or somebody that's just actually, and my mic is probably really low. Does that sound a little better?
Yeah, now you went up. You were okay, but
but we have to understand that life doesn't happen in a vacuum, so we can actually put things out there and make it a little easier. So join us anywhere, theauthoradventure.com, thepiratesyndicate.com, and social media, YouTube, wherever. I happen to be off LinkedIn right now. So,
but I'm still on. So you can find me at Lawless Liz at linkedin.com.in, /in/Lawless Liz, or You can find us at author Liz Lawless on Facebook or Russ Johns on Facebook. And like you say, so you can follow us individually. You can follow us, our company, our business ventures, our creative ventures, and we encourage you to do that. So today, like you say, we're doing a little shameless self promotion here at the end of May. The other third book we have, or fourth book, I'm sorry, is we've got the 3 animal books, and then we put the 3 animal books together on one kind of bigger coloring book. So this just has the coloring pages. It doesn't have the color matching pages. We also have the books as eBooks. If you just want to read you've got a small child and they're preschool age, or they're 3 or 4, 2, 3, 4, and you just want to start identifying animals for them. You've got the pictures are there, the names there. You can repeat those names with these small children. You can have them say them out to you or try to say them. And so these are preschool, early education. If you're wanting to give your child a jump start before they maybe go to preschool, these are good books for you to be looking at. If you've got babies, you've got grandkids, great grandkids maybe coming on. Some of us.
And as a parent, I really enjoy. I always really love the time I could spend with my kids reading, reading stories and going through these books. So it's a great habit to get into. It's a great opportunity for you to, spend time with them, educate them, make sure that they're understanding the questions and asking questions. And, you never know what they're going to ask you. So
right. That's right. Be prepared.
Yeah,
be prepared, because kids ask the strangest things and the funniest thing. But there are difficult discussions that we have to have. We were talking earlier with an author today, and part of one of the things we're including in the back of her book is some questions. And basically, in the story, they don't talk about it a lot, but she does mention that father dies and they have to move to a new home, and so all the toys get boxed up and they get moved to the new place, and the new room doesn't look like the old room. And things just change. But really, the story is all about love continues, life continues, even though we experience change. But sometimes there are difficult conversations you need to have with your child. You might have to have a conversation with your child about race. You might have to have a conversation with your child about gun violence. I mean, you might have to have a conversation with your child about illness, disease. Maybe somebody in the family gets sick, or is in the hospital. And young children don't have the skills to process that. So you've got to be real simple in your conversation, but you've also got to not hide that from them, because then they'll think there's something wrong. And there's not anything wrong with any of these situations. They're just different.
It's life.
So, yeah, it's life, and it happens to us while we're making other plans. And so that's the great thing about books and authors and people who want to be educated, who want to learn, who want knowledge. Books are a great way to do that. And start your kids young, because it can't hurt them. Okay, there's nothing about books that hurt children. Okay, I mean, and kids that learn to read earlier just do better. They do better in school, they do better in communication and relationships. And all the studies tell us that. And so, and you can catch up too. We have special needs children. We have some great nieces. I have great nieces, and they're special needs. And one of them was a couple of years behind in her reading when she was in the fifth grade. And she was reading at maybe the third grade level, but she had a teacher, like an assistant, an intern. A little girl came in because she was getting her teaching degree, and she came and worked in the classroom for a semester, and she worked with Brianna every day and got her reading up to the fifth grade level. And now she can read anything, whereas before she didn't have the confidence. She would stumble, or she would not want to read out loud, because it was really more of a confidence thing. It wasn't that she didn't know the words, or that she couldn't sound the word out. She just didn't have the confidence to know. But by reading every day or 2 or 3 times a week with this teacher, this little girl, young lady, not girl, she was a young lady, but she was getting her teaching degree. And so, we're so grateful that there was somebody that was able to work with her every day. And, sometimes kids don't get that because when you've got 30 or 40 kids in a room, you can't spend all period with one child.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge. And
Yeah,
the other thing about that, Liz, and you bring up a great point, is it does take practice. I mean, it's not just read one book and put it down. And
right.
it's tragic that there are so many individuals that they, after they get out of high school, they never read a book again, or they get out of college and they never read a book again in their life. And it's like, wow, I can't wait to consume the next one. And a lot of
Right,
times what I'm doing is, I'll be walking or I'll be
right.
driving around. I'll do audiobooks.
Audiobooks. Yeah, I was
I
going to
have,
say
I don't
that's the
know.
next thing. Or Kindles. I've been reading on my phone. I've been reading on my Kindle. My Kindle, my plug went out on me, so occasionally your cords mess up. So the first
You
thing
and
I did
technology, you and
that I,
technology.
I have it all the time. So that my car's down, of course, but now my Kindle's down. So I've been reading on my phone at night. And I'm like going blind. I'm like,
Oh no.
I gotta get my cord. So I went and bought a cord today, and it works. Thank God I got the right one because about half the time I go buy something, I bring it back and it doesn't work. I bought the wrong thing because I'm so 30% challenged on the back end. I can get 70% or
Yeah.
80%. It's that last little bit that I'm getting over the hump. I just can't get over the hump. But
So,
anyway, I
so
want to
before we
encourage
wrap
you.
up today,
Yep.
I want to make sure that we have an opportunity to share what's on the horizon again, because you mentioned the 5-day challenge, and also getting in touch with us. So maybe you
Nope.
can recap that.
I will. And so here's our author book. This is our book that Russ and I did. This is called The Author Adventure: Secrets. So 5 secrets to success, the art and business of publishing. And so basically this is our publishing guide. So this has our 5 secrets in it. It's got some, ways for you to contact us to get in touch. So if you don't have that and you're thinking about writing a book, you need to get this book because it'll be a great guide. You'll want to get the paperback so that you can underline it, so that you can take
Yeah.
some notes in the side and underline and write up the things that are very important to you. Because there may be a few things in there that don't apply to you. Maybe there's a marketing strategy and you don't want to try that marketing strategy, but there are 10 other marketing strategies you can try. So just pick 1 or 2 or 3 to start with, and then you'll be good to go. And it's going to give you some things to be thinking about as you're writing, because
And
you
if you
need to
want
be.
additional support,
Yeah,
we're always here. So
you know where to come. So it's the Author Adventure. We're here every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can always go back to the YouTube channel and watch the archive, because the shows get archived. The shows go out to our podcast. So if you're a podcast listener, or like the Rush, you're a biker, you like to walk, you like to get out, mow the lawn, work in the garden, listen to our shows while you're doing that. You can
yeah,
listen to our show. You don't have to be watching it. You can turn it on and just listen to it in the background while you're washing dishes or cleaning or whatever you're doing.
yeah, yeah. Well, it was really nice to be able to be out in Texas, and I traveled thousands of miles, 10 states, Liz, and I was gone
10
for
states. Oh, I know it. I couldn't
67
imagine when you.
days, 67 days.
I
So,
couldn't. I couldn't believe you did 10 states, because you ended up going what, up to Seattle or all the way to
yeah, I was
Washington.
up to
Yeah,
Seattle,
Texas to what?
Oregon,
Arizona.
California. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was all over. I was
you were all
I,
over the Southwest and
I actually
Northwest.
have pictures. I actually have pictures of me standing on the monument at Four Corners.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
All right. We'll be
it
posting
was
those
fun.
on the Pirate Syndicate, or post them on your newsletter so we can all see them.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you, and thank you
Okay.
everyone for being here. And if you're listening in the future, have a wonderful morning, noon, or night,
Yep.
whatever you happen to be. And we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, we'll be back in the June with Chef J. Steven Sadler talking about happy veggies. We'll be talking with Mary Spaeth about Baby Bear Comes Back, and all kinds of other authors. So be here on 5 o'clock on Tuesdays, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone.